It's come to my attention these past few months that we are not in a good place as a riding community because there are a lot of people that are being really bad influences. And I think that this is one of the primary causes for a lot of the fatalities that we're seeing on the news, and that we hear about in our various riding communities. I started this channel because I wanted to be a positive influence in this community. And the reason why I want to do that for you is because when I started riding back in 2012, I had a mentor that did that for me. He was an ex racer. He taught me about, all the ins and outs, how to do things safely, and how to come home every single day. And so that's really why I started this channel, is so that I can be that on a larger scale for, anybody who needs it. So, I want to use this video to share a lot of tips that I've learned since 2012 from both my mentor and from personal experience that I truly believe have kept me alive all these years when I see so many like friends around me passing away on these machines that we love. So, let's just get right into it, and I want to share some of these valuable tips. Number one seems kind of obvious: always wear proper gear, and wear the gear that is designed for what you ride. If you're riding on the street, wear a full face, like safe helmet, jacket, boots, gloves, jeans that are abrasion resistant, or some type of pants that are abrasion resistant. Do not ride around in a t shirt without a helmet. Do not ride around without gloves. Don't ride around in a tank top. Trust me, there are two types of riders: the type that have been down and the type that are going to go down. A lot of the veteran riders say dress for the slide, not the ride. They don't say that just because it sounds fun to say. They truly mean that you will go down. And when you do, you'll be really, really thankful that you're wearing the appropriate things when that happens. So wear the correct gear. And I also said in there, wear gear that's appropriate for your riding type. I see a lot of people wearing like off road gear on the street. That off road gear is impact resistant, but it's going to catch on the pavement and it's going to get ripped off of you as soon as you hit the ground. You need something with both abrasion resistance and impact resistance for the street. That's why a lot of people wear different jackets on the street than off the street. Next, don't ride at night if you can help it. There's a few reasons for this. At night, visibility is reduced, and there are a lot more people on the streets that could potentially be intoxicated, right? Think about the people leaving the bars and the clubs and all of that. Like, they've already had the chance to be drinking for multiple hours after they've gotten off of work, and now they're leaving, ready to go home, and instead of calling an Uber, they decided to drive intoxicated, and they're going to come across you, and you had better hope that they have their wits about them and they don't cause an accident with you, or you could just stay home and avoid it if you can. Next, don't consume any substance that negatively uh, impacts your thinking. If it negatively impacts your cognitive ability, do not consume it, because these are high powered machines and they do what you tell them to the precise moment when you tell them to do it, even if you accidentally tell them. So you need to have your wits about you fully when you're operating a motorcycle. Next, don't ride like a dummy on public roadways. Don't, overspeed. Don't lane split. Don't stunt on the roadways. And especially don't stunt while speeding on a public roadway while you're lane splitting. Like, don't combine all these things, because that is going to drastically increase the likelihood that you damage yourself or your property. Next, don't ride near dense areas of bars and clubs, as the percentage of impaired drivers is going to be higher in these areas, right? Think about in Austin, Texas, there's famous hubs of bars and clubs like 6th Street. Obviously, if you are going to ride a motorcycle around those areas, you should expect that there are going to be impaired drivers breaking the law and driving around you on your motorcycle. So you need to ask yourself, is it really intelligent to be around these areas? Don't tell yourself like, oh, that's illegal. so I shouldn't have to worry about it. That would be reacting to the way the world as the way you want it to be and not the way that it actually is. So instead, make the intelligent decision and stay away from these hubs of clubs and bars. Next, make sure you have a license to ride. They always teach valuable things in the MSF course here in the United States, and I'm sure that the variations of that in other countries teach just as good as information, valuable things. And I'm saying, like, guys, when I took my MSF course, I took my motorcycle there on a trailer, and the day before I started the course, I couldn't even really shift after out of first gear. I couldn't, use my brakes correctly. I would go in straight lines and kind of turn my bike here and there and drive my motorcycle around the block at the time. I lived in a small town, so I could get away with that. Uh, but after my first day at the MSF, I, could do figure eights and I could, shift through my entire gearbox, and it was just like a night and day difference. My mom, who dropped me off at the course, could barely believe that I had made that much progress in a single day. And for that reason, the MSF course is really, really valuable. But outside of the MSF course, there are also like tons of advanced rider courses that you can take, and all of these rider courses could teach you things and do teach you things that could really save your life on the road. A good example of this is braking. In MSF, they teach you the intro mechanics of your motorcycle. And one of the things they teach you is never brake in a corner, right? If you're going through a corner, going through a turn, never hit the brakes. Well, in advanced rider courses, they teach you mechanics like trail braking, which essentially means you are applying the front brakes with a little bit of rear brake in order to shift the weight of your motorcycle to the front forks so that you plant the front wheel, so that when you go into the actual turn, you have a lot more grip. Again, don't think about this if you're not there yet as a rider, but these are just like an examples of the different things that you can learn by taking advanced rider courses. Next, ride like you're invisible. Uh, and I really, really mean that. I don't care if it's daylight or nighttime. If you are on the road, ride like nobody sees you. That means that you are anticipating behavior of other drivers as if they have no idea that you're there. So if you're driving down the road and somebody's about to pull out in the roadway, do not continue about your merry way like they see you. You need to operate your motorcycle as if you are expecting them to pull out in front of you. And I've learned, more times than not, they do pull out in front of me. And so that's something that you need to be aware of. Always ride like you're invisible. If you're asking yourself the question, do they see me? Do they not see me? You can pretty much just assume that they do not see you. And then lastly, don't break all of these rules. Don't break these rules concurrently. Meaning, like, if you have to break one of the rules, like, oh, it's late at night, I got off work late, so I'm going to have to ride home in the dark. Do not also combine that with consuming alcohol, or do not combine that with, oh, I forgot my jacket, like, upstairs. I'm just going to go home. Like, no, do not combine the rule breaking, because that is going to drastically increase the chances that something bad happens. Now, guys, again, I'm only telling you this because these are the things that I've learned after all of these years riding, what I've learned from my mentors, the people who cared about me. And so I'm just trying to extend that to you guys as you are embarking on the riding journey, or maybe you're riding already and you're just looking for somebody who's like minded, who wants to have fun, have a blast, meet some cool people, but do it the right way and come home every night if it's possible. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any tips. Drop them in the comments. If you have any positive habits that you've developed along the way that have kept you alive, kept you safe. Yeah, let me know if you're implementing any of these tips into your daily riding. Peace out.